Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Pullman, Washington. It is Washington State, and what a story these Cougars are. Now 6-0 on this season. They welcome in Prairie View A&M out of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. It is time for Pac-12 men's basketball, brought to you by Pacific Premier Bank. And welcome inside the Beasley Coliseum. Great to see everyone again. I'm Greg Heister, along with Dan Dickow. And Dan, tell you what, it hasn't always been pretty for the Cougars this year, but at the end of the day, they are 6-0, and you feel this program on the rise.
Without a doubt, you cannot complain about those results being 6-0. The first 5 games was a little bit of an adventure, ups and downs on both sides of the ball, but in game number 6 against Montana State the other night, they put it all together, a convincing win over the visiting Bobcats.
And Isaac Bonton, 17.5 points a game, back in the lineup for Washington State. The thigh contusion is better.
Coach Kyle Smith has got to be thankful to have him back. Didn't play in the rout over Montana State, but when you need a bucket or a play made, Isaac Bonton is the most skilled player on this roster, and he has the guts to make big plays. So if it's close, you want the ball in his hands.
And no longer on the horizon, it is the arrival of Noah Williams, clearly their most versatile player.
He has really exploded as a sophomore. A year ago as a freshman out of Seattle, earned his minutes through his defensive play and his energy. He has continued those traits this year, but he's added a well-rounded offensive game, has been able to score at all 3 levels. He's been tremendous.
The numbers bear this out. Noah Williams is making a lot of noise around the Pac-12.
He has absolutely shown people the improvement that can happen when you dedicate yourself to the gym, and he did that over the offseason, and the results are starting to show.
Now, Prairie View A&M, they have not played a game since November 29th. They are 1-2 because of COVID cancellations. What an opportunity it is for them today. They come out to Washington State to play a Power 5 team, Dan, and a chance to get a great win.
Well, there is topsy-turviness, ups and downs throughout college basketball this entire season. But for Prairie View and A&M, you have to relish the opportunity, embrace the chance to get back out on the court tonight and continue your season.
Okay, Washington State, a chance to get to 7-0 since the first time since 2007 and 2008. What a great opportunity for the Cougs as well. Starting lineups to tip off when we come back live from the Beasley Coliseum.
Pac-12 Washington.
You're back at the Beasley Coliseum. Starting lineup for Prairie View A&M looks like this. You've got 3 scorers of Roberts, Gambrell, and Daniels all scoring better than 10 points a game. And then Gambrell and Briscoe getting their first starts of the season. But again, just game 4 now for them. For Washington State, Bonton, Williams, Yakimovsky, Abagidi, and Markovetsky. Dan, big lineup and a versatile lineup.
Yeah, it shows you that Markovetsky is starting to really earn the trust of Kyle Smith and anchoring that defense, sliding over Abugidi to the 4.
Briscoe, Markovetsky. And it'll be Panther basketball to begin. We're just underway at the Beasley Coliseum. Washington State going for their 7th win to open up this campaign.
Washington State has shown the ability to play quite a bit of zone with Markovetsky in, but they start in man-to-man.
This is Darrell Roberts, handoff, and a whistle on a foul call right away, and this will go against the Panthers. It's on Darrell Roberts, the junior from Dallas, Texas. So the turnover gives it to the Cougars. And our first sub, that's number 32, Cam Mack, checking in, the redshirt junior out of Austin, Texas. So Bonton then missed the last game against Montana State. It'll be interesting. He had a chance to sit and watch his team perform quite well with him not in there, right? And so now the opportunity, how does this team perform with him out there? Do they find comfortability?
Well, I think what you're hopefully going to see is more guys playing with a lot of confidence. In particular, Ryan Rapp, as Noah Williams knocks down a corner 3 to start the game, continue his tremendous play as of late. But You know, Ryan Rapp has a career high. Abu Ghidi has a career high. Hopefully what Bonton was able to see was other guys can step up and make plays. Allow the game to come to you. Don't try to force the game yourself.
Yakumovsky. Markovetsky couldn't catch it. Bonton now from 17 off the glass, too hard. And rebound controlled by Damari Paris. That 3 a minute ago by Noah Williams. What a story his shooting is becoming. Now 9 of 17 on the season from behind the arc. He was 4 of 27 a year ago.
And quite frankly, those 4 were kind of an adventure. He had awful footwork a season ago. His mechanics weren't consistent. That has not been the case this year.
Damari Paris with the bucket, 3-2.
Prairie View A&M in 2-3 zone. Washington State's got to try to collapse it with dribble penetration.
And the rebound by Markovetsky. Corralled that ball up high and was able to get it in off the glass. Foul called and a chance for 3.
Well, the size of Markovetsky is going to be a struggle for Daniels and some of the other bigs for Prairie View and A&M, especially when you're in a zone. You have to locate and go find a body to block out, especially if it's Markovetsky in your area because he's so big.
Foul called on Cam Mack. That's his first. And a 3-point play by Markovetsky. We weren't sure when we saw him open play for the Cougars this year. Like, how many minutes can he truly earn? Looked a little awkward, but Dan, over the last 2-3 games, he is vying for minutes and obviously plugged into the starting lineup for this game and the last game against Montana State.
Well, as a player, what you have to do is you have to find where you fit and where your strengths can help a team win. Just because you think you can do something, as that's a tremendous lob as Briscoe finishes it over the top. Just because you think you can do something doesn't mean the coach has confidence for you to do it in certain situations and scenarios. Markovetsky is a great example of playing to your strengths.
And Abagidi called for the charge. And this was a very athletic finish. Cam Mack the pass. J-Rhoda Briscoe with the catch and finish.
Now, we mentioned strengths of Markovetsky, anchoring that defense in the paint. You put him in ball screens, he's going to have trouble covering it and then recovering. That time he couldn't get back to Briscoe in time as he got the alley-oop over the top.
That shot rimmed out by Jeremiah Gambrell Jr. I guess if you got to beat somebody at 7'1" who doesn't jump well, you got to throw it over the top. And they tried that and it worked. Abagidi with it. Back to Bonton. And this will be a turnover. So Bonton and Abagidi not on the same page there.
Yeah, just miscommunication. Bonton enters it into the post. A quick double for Bonton's man to go down on Abagidi. And a miscommunication. Bonton stayed, or sorry, excuse me, Bonton floated to the corner so that the defender didn't know where he was at. Abagidi threw it back, but obviously resulting in a turnover.
Slipping on the floor is Mack. No travel. This is Briscoe. Left it short. Ran down his own miss. Shot for 3 is off from Cam Mack. And Washington State basketball. Yakumovsky. Boy, I tell you, I love his shot. He shoots a lot from the wing, and oftentimes he's right in our view. And I'm telling you, every time it leaves his hand, I swear it's in.
Tremendous high pocket, good release. And you're right. He needs to continue to search his shot because he can be a difference maker for the Cougars.
Damari Paris with the answer at the other end. Number 15. Damari now with 4 points. 9-6 just underway between Washington State and Prairie View A&M out of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Andre Yakumovsky with a strong drive. Great defense inside. Blocked by Briscoe. Abagidi the rebound and a chance to get it back to the rim. And free throws coming for Washington State when we come back. Cougars up early, 9-6 in Pullman. And welcome back to beautiful Pullman, Washington. Cougars off to a 9-6 lead against Prairie View A&M. And free throws coming for the very interesting freshman F.A. Abagidi. The guy oozes potential, still learning to play the game, Dan, but you see possibly a star in the making here in Pullman, don't you?
Oh, without a doubt. 19 points, 15 rebounds the other night against Montana State. He's got the athleticism. He's got great hands, good touch from out past the three-point line even. The biggest question for him still is, as Yakimovsky hits another three, is can Abugidi continue to learn defensively and not put himself in positions where he can pick up easy fouls?
And that one rimmed out at the other end by Juwan Daniels. Offensive rebound gives the Panthers another opportunity. And here's a deep three from Gambrell Jr. short. Williams the rebound. Back come the Cougars. Yakimovsky. Isaac Bonton.
That's the guy you don't want to leave.
Rebound on the weak side. Jock Hughes, number 2. Into the corner. Cougars late to get there. And the shot is off from Daniels. Prairie View now 3 of 10 to open this game. Washington State 4 of 9.
Well, you mentioned in the open that Prairie View A&M hasn't played since late in November. They're probably getting their legs back under them to a certain extent.
And they're going to go with the charge. They weren't sure at first. The officials looked at one another, and Yakimovsky picks up his first personal foul.
Probably a good call when you take an extra dribble or two and the defense has been standing outside the restricted area. Yakimovsky has the ability to put the ball on the deck, but his strengths still at this time are finding open areas along the perimeter and letting it fly from the three-point line, where he's already knocked down 2 tonight.
Ryan Rapp, number 22 on the floor for Washington State. Cougars in a zone defense. And the deflection by Williams out of bounds. 15 on the shot clock. There's Kyle Smith. 12-1 record in non-conference home games, including these 10 in a row.
That's impressive. And here's the question I pose to you, Greg.
Okay.
They win tonight. Yep. They win on Wednesday night.
Yep.
Do they move into the top 25 as they've already started to earn votes?
Nice floater from the baseline from Gambrell Jr., but I think they have to be there.
I would agree. One of the last power conference unbeaten teams. Now, I'm not saying they are a top 25 level team on a normal year with this roster, but in this COVID impacted season, you have to take advantage of all the games that are still on your schedule, and they've done that up till now.
Williams with 8 on the shot clock. And a whistle and a foul called on number 2, Jock Hughes. Washington State on top of the Pac-12 right now with overall records at 6-0. Doesn't really tell you much. The only thing I will say about Washington State and their 6-0 start, Dan, they also beat a team that was picked in Texas Southern to win their league this year. They also beat Eastern Washington, who's picked to win the Big Sky. And so I think there's some quality wins in this. They also have a Pac-12 win as well. So I think it would be a legitimate top 25 position at this point in the year.
Yeah, Bonton with a nice floater in the lane. And I agree with you to a certain extent, because nobody knew what was going to happen this year. But when Kyle Smith started building out his schedule, which typically you have to do a couple of years in advance, as Daniels gets a nice shot in the lane to drop, you were looking to build confidence in your program and in your roster in your second year as a head coach. So you build your schedule accordingly. And it just so happened that it's worked out extremely well. They've got off to a terrific 6-0 start.
That shot rimmed out by Juwan Daniels. Well, I tell you what, this team continues to defend the way they do. Noah Williams continues to be like that, aggressive on the offensive end. And I think this team hovers around that top 25 for a lot of the season.
Yeah, and
they're
again,
going to be a hard team to beat.
They will be a hard team to beat if they continue to adhere to what Coach Kyle Smith is preaching.
Yes.
Extra pass, valuing the basketball, spacing, timing on their offensive sets, but in particular defensively, not giving up threes and making other opponents take contested twos.
The question will become, can they get enough quality wins in Pac-12 play to get to the postseason? That will be the question. But I think the pieces are here, Dan. When you look at Yakimovsky and everything that he can, just that offensive rebound a minute ago, and then he hits the three. He's got a couple of threes already, and Noah playing on both ends. Bonton, a guy that can drop 30 on him. And then you got Abagidi, who can defend and guard the rim, and Markovetsky, who's a monster to move around in there. I mean, they've got pieces to play with.
They have pieces, and they're definitely a program that's moving in the right direction. When you say postseason, obviously there is more than just the NCAA tournament.
Yeah,
there's
100%.
The NIT, there's the CBI and others. And
it's a process,
right?
It's
a process.
It's a building process stuff.
One thing I think people have to understand is in this COVID-impacted season, we've already seen games canceled, postponed, delayed, rescheduled already. So you don't know how many games that you're going to get, and you don't know when maybe your team is impacted by having a guy or two have to sit out due to a test or contact tracing. So I think a huge part of it is staying healthy and everybody ready for their opportunities, because everybody should get one at some point this season.
Brian Rapp with the basketball. He got the start against Montana State because of the injury to Bonton, and boy, did he take advantage of that opportunity with a career-high 12 points. He'll shoot free throws when we come back. 11:56 to play first half. Washington State up by 4.
Thousands of dollars. For more information, please contact VA or talk to a lender of your choice. Don't let anyone talk you out of using the benefit you have earned. Choose VA.
So who is Prairie View A&M? Well, they're located in Prairie View, Texas, out of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Last time there was an NCAA tournament, they were in it in 2019. Mr. T, Megan V. Stallion, and Cynthia Cooper, graduates of this school. And Byron Smith, their head coach in his 6th season.
Well, they've come in here with an expectation to win. You saw them in pregame warmups. They came with a purpose and a plan. Coach Smith applauding and pleading with his guys to stick to the script, and I like what I've seen so far out of it. The 2-3 zone, other than a couple times that they've lost track of, Yakimovsky has been active, and offensively they really space the floor and try to attack you off the dribble and in pick and roll situations.
Well, and we also play in a day and an age where a school like Prairie View looks at coming to Washington State as a real opportunity. They're not going to be intimidated, despite the fact Abagidi can make plays like that. They're going to come after you. They're going to come in here and expect to win this ball game.
Well, that's just Abagidi's instinct for the ball. I mean, tremendous dribble drive opportunity there from the top.
Yakimovsky's in the zone, Dan Ditka. 3 of 5 from behind the arc. 9 points, leading all scorers.
Get that man some open space. He is not shy, nor should he be.
Daniels inside. The runner was halfway down. Pops out. Yakimovsky with the rebound. Rapp with it now for the Cougars. 3rd rebound for Yakimovsky.
And this is where you want to see Rapp or Bonton understand. Yakimovsky's knocked down 3 triples already. Find a way to create him an open look.
And Bonton will shoot it in that high corner a little long. 8-point lead. And a quick shot at the other end from Damari Paris. Rapp, he's left wide open. And he connects from downtown, 24-13.
Well, he started the season off a bit of a struggle. 0-14 from the field. He got a chance to play extended minutes the other night with Bonton out. I think that really did wonders for his confidence.
Abagidi battling for the rebound. Prairie View now 6 of 18 shooting to start the game. Miles Warren, number 2 on the floor, as Bonton drives off the glass. Isaac now with 6. Timeout Panthers. Cougars have hit 9 of their first 15 shots But what I've noticed the last few possessions, Dan, they're getting uncontested shots.
Well, you have to give Yakimovsky credit for that last opportunity for Bonton. Because he's on the strong side, Hope does not want to leave. So scouting report now is don't leave Yakimovsky. The post tries to fight to a front, but it gets stuck on the top side on Abugidi. Bonton, a nice job of recognizing it, attacks the rim for the easy layup.
And speaking of F.A. Abugidi, here's your Tums-worthy moment of the ball game. Look at the elevation, Dan.
That's impressive.
0 to 60 in 0.08 seconds. How high he gets.
You like a good shot blocker, don't you?
I don't think there's a more exciting play in this game than to see somebody standing under the rim and go straight up with that kind of explosiveness. I mean, think about it. If the goal is to put the ball in the hoop and your last line of defense is a guy who can jump 11 feet in the air, he becomes the ultimate defender.
Tremendous timing on that block that was just shown, for sure.
Here's Cam Mack. Deep three is off. And Abugidi with his 6th rebound of this game. Ryan Rapp playing with more confidence because of that start. You could see that grow throughout that game against Montana State. Quick three, his 2nd in a row.
Wow, crystal ball for you there, Mr. Greg Heister.
Yeah, good.
Almost on cue, knocks down the 2nd three of the night for him.
Ryan Rapp now 6 points, 3 of 5 shooting. Actually 7 points. And is yet to miss a shot, 2 of 2. And Miles Warren called for the personal foul with 9:27 to play in this first half.
So we've called now, this is our 7th Washington State game this year. So we've seen the trajectory of each one of these players. And our question going back to game 1 was, we have a good idea what we're going to see in Bonton. Noah Williams, we think he's going to make a jump. He has. Now each guy, Abugidi, Ryan Rapp, and Yakimovsky, they've had stretches where they've looked good. TJ Bamba, who hasn't been in the game yet, but Coach Kyle Smith's big message to us when we've talked to him is who's going to be their 3rd guy consistently. And it's going to be interesting to see that play out over the next few weeks as we get into league play.
What I think that I've noticed over these games, if they've progressed, is the strategy for building a team. You know, you've got Isaac Bonton. They needed 28 from him to win their opening game. Since then, we have watched all the other pieces kind of grow into what their role is going to be this season and then get better at it. And the run out at the other end, Rapp there to contest, but a great finish from Juwan Daniels.
Well, I think to your point, I think Kyle Smith does a tremendous job building a program. Too many times these days, coaches fall in love with one skill. And typically it's athleticism, unfortunately. I should know because I didn't have a ton of it. But you need shooters. You need spacers. You need defenders. You need athletes. You need a mix. And Kyle Smith understands that, and he's done a good job of recruiting to be able to fill all of the different attributes you need in a team.
J. Rhoda Briscoe with some good interior defense. But then Isaac Bonton erases it. Bonton with 8 points, 4 of 6 from the floor. And it's good to see him, Dan, get off to an efficient start. Not just a good start scoring, but an efficient start.
Yeah, I would agree. I think he's got a tendency to force the game as opposed to letting it come to him. That might have been a difficult shot, but he's so skilled. He's got the chance to make those shots. He just has to balance enough good shots with difficult shots when it's needed, because it was needed that time with the shot clock winding down.
Jazz Kuntz, number 4, checking in for Washington State. He started this season as one of the starters, got dinged up, and then his teammates started playing well, like Andre Yakimovsky, and there's the flush. J. Rhoda Briscoe, great feet inside. Briscoe with 4 points. Well, this is a deep three from Rapp, short. Coates keeps it alive. The poke out rebound to Williams. Now from the corner, Jazz Coates connects. And it's 34-19. Coates' first bucket.
That's the 7th made three already this afternoon. Cougars don't even average 7 made threes per game.
They don't. Boy, I tell you what, Roberts almost threw that over the glass, but he turned around, and there's F.A. Abagidi coming his way. He knew it had to be high. Williams long on that shot. Long rebound to Damari Paris. Darrell Roberts will miss, and now you see Prairie View A&M starting to settle for shots. They got to work the ball around, get an easy one. Offensive foul. No, Williams used that left arm to extend as he went to the hoop. Foul on Noah. No bucket. 34-19. Isaac Bonton with 8 points on 4 of 6 shooting. Looking good, Dan.
Shot clock winding down. Put the ball in Bonton's hands. He can create. A little pull-up. Cougars up big.
Whoa, how about that?
Barthélemy all the way to the glass, followed up nicely.
And welcome back to Pullman, Washington. Greg Heister, Dan Dick. Pac-12 leaders, Oscar Da Silva leading at 20.3 points a game. What else do you see? What jumps off the screen at you here, Dan?
The Mobley brothers. Isaiah, the older brother, leading the conference in rebounds, but younger brother Evan is no slouch himself. He is being talked about as a potential #1 pick in the NBA draft in this next upcoming season. It's going to be interesting and fun to see his development over the course of the year.
And how about Stanford, that big win against Arizona, ending that 20-game skid? Oscar, a big part of that, of course. I love that about this league. Any night. Washington State trying to take care of business here tonight in Pullman against Prairie View A&M. The deflection by Noah Williams.
Markovetsky back in the game, so they go zone. I think they've played their best defense when he has been anchoring that zone.
Posting up inside, you can see the size advantage. Jock Hughes trying to defend him at 6'3". Volodymyr Markovetsky is 7'1". Bonton missed the pick and roll pass there, but a foul called. This will go against Hughes. I'm wondering, you were a point guard, a great one. If you're running point, pick and roll, you got a guy 7'1". I'm like, aren't you just throwing it to the rim every time? When a guy 6'3" is guarding him?
Well, it depends on where help side is, because somebody like Markovetsky, a big target like that maybe they can't catch on the move or they can't catch in traffic, you need to be their eyes with where help side defense is, and don't lead them into a travel or a turnover.
I'm throwing it up.
Fair enough.
Foul called on Yakumovsky. I mean, you know, sports are about mismatches. 7'1", 6'3". I don't know if you'd find a bigger mismatch. 10 on the shot clock. Battle for the rebound, but the tip up and in by Damari Paris. Unless it was a Cougar with A on that, I'm not sure. Markovetsky with the catch. And the finish. The big man can catch on the run.
But see, no, there's a prime example. He caught it, but it wasn't necessarily clean and crisp. Bonton put him in a difficult spot where he could have been called for a travel.
Damari Paris.
Prairie View A&M.
They're hanging around, down by just 13.
Anytime they get a bucket, they're going to set up and pressure 94 feet. We saw this from Portland State the other night, and it had some good stretches where the Cougars didn't handle it very well.
That was close to an offensive foul there by Noah Williams. Great defensive play by Darrell Roberts to block Yakumovsky, and then the hammer at the other end by Cam Mack.
Well, defensive transition. You've got the big fella running the floor in Jawan Daniels. And when Markovetsky is his matchup and he's not quick enough to get down the floor and transition, the rest of the team, you guys got to pick up the slack. And a nice block there.
That's a swat. And it's...
But if you look, Markovetsky just doesn't have the foot speed to keep up with Daniels. Ball gets stopped. Other two guys, instead of flying out in transition to their matchup, they've got to recognize that and take away the rim run from Daniels.
So it was Cam Mack to pass to Jawan Daniels, and I think they called a technical on Daniels for holding on to the rim.
There's no fans in here. Just let them have fun.
Seriously.
I mean, it's not hurting anybody.
Well, he hit the glass,
slap
right?
the backboard. Come on. No harm. Just let him play.
11-point game. 2 minutes to play first half. Noah Williams with a little push. Throws up a wild shot and missed it. And now the Panthers with an opportunity at the other end.
They've turned up the pressure, that's for sure.
Deflection out of bounds. Stays with Prairie View A&M. They've hit their last 3 shots while the Cougars have gone cold, 1 of 8. $11-point game. They get this into single digits, and it's game on in the second half. Harris, great pass inside. Bonton getting there late. He fouls Cam Mack. So Cam will shoot free throws.
And Bonton lost sight. A nice cut there by Mack.
That's a problem now. Prairie View A&M has not played a game since November 29th. Dan, you were a basketball player. When you watch, never happened to you, I'm sure, but game after game get canceled. You're chomping at the bit. You put all this work in, you just want to play. Finally, you get your chance to play. You're going to leave it all out on the floor in this game.
Without a doubt. And the problem for Prairie View A&M early was they couldn't make shots. It was almost like they were too excited to get back on the court and play in a real game. Since they've settled down, you're right, they've made shots. When they've scored, they've been able to extend their pressure and get Washington State out of rhythm on the offensive end.
And now it's a 10-point game with 1:20 to play first half. Mack almost had the poke away steal. Abagidi out there to help. F.A. big slam with the left hand.
Oh, tremendous pass from Bonton in the pick and roll. Abagidi gets the highlight dunk, but play was created by Bonton.
Quick shot by Daniels is off. 2-man basketball, that's beautiful when it works like that.
The hardest play to guard is the pick and roll.
F.A. he can shoot the 3, in and out, back in. And just like that, Washington State pushes into a 15-point lead. Abagidi with 8 points and 7 rebounds, and we talked about it the other night. It's not just that it goes in by F.A., as that shot by Paris is off. It's the pace of his release.
It's soft. It comes off his hand really nice.
Catching up.
It's got good rotation.
10 seconds to go. Damari Paris there in front of Bonton. Isaac got it away off the glass. Isaac Bonton with 10 first half points. And Washington State closes that first half on a 7-0 run, and they push it to a 17-point lead. This is pretty here, Dan.
Well, his understanding of the shot clock and the halftime game clock, and knowing he's got a smaller defender on him. The thing about that possession was that Washington State, because they've knocked down threes, they did a nice job spacing the floor, giving him plenty of room to work.
Andrei Yakumovsky with 11 points, Isaac Bonton with 10 points, and Washington State leading 47-30 at the half. It is our State Farm halftime report up next. Welcome back to the Beasley Coliseum. Dan Dickow, those numbers right there. That tells you why Washington State's unbeaten. They're getting better every game.
Without a doubt. That's the sign of coaches continuing to define roles, players stepping up into those roles, and understanding what is a good shot and a great shot for your team.
Noah Williams with it. Just underway second half. Washington State up by 17. Noah from the corner.
Tremendous. The high-low look, the double comes quick, and then Noah Williams, the recipient of a kick-out pass.
Jeremiah Gambrell out of control at the other end. Panthers retain possession. Another chance. This is Roberts from the corner. That's short. Bonton up to battle for the rebound. And it's off of Damari Paris. Cougar basketball. $20-point lead. And a foul called as Noah Williams was fighting through contact.
The attention that Abu Ghidi creates. Noah Williams does the right thing, relocates, hands and feet ready, knock down three.
3 on 2. That foul called on Juwan Daniels. And Noah Williams going to the free throw line. What is the ceiling for Noah Williams, Dan?
That's a difficult one. You know, you want to see a player that improves year over year, and he's absolutely done that. You have not seen him go up against elite level athleticism, which he should see in the Pac-12 once you get into league play. But he's more comfortable on the floor this year as opposed to last year. He seems to have slowed the game down, making the correct reads. His footwork, his jump shot has absolutely improved, and his defense has stayed consistent. I mean, I could absolutely see him becoming an all-league type of player. Might not be this year, but absolutely next year.
Well, I think Kyle Smith would be very happy with that.
Yes.
Gambrell Jr. now 1 of 3 from behind the three-point line. 52-33 the score. Noah's always been consistent in his first year and now 6.5 games on the defensive end. You could see that right from the beginning that he was, if he could develop the offense, he was going to be a really good two-way player. And the finish by Cam Mack.
Yeah, to kind of piggyback on your comment about Noah Williams. I mean, he's got the length, the athleticism, and the grit to be a great defender. He had the high school coaching in Jason Kerr that really kind of gave him a good base when he got to college.
Markovetsky stays with it. He's got 5 points, 4 rebounds. That shot way off from Juwan Daniels.
Caught in no man's land. Wasn't sure if Markovetsky was truly going to contest.
Markovetsky wanting it. Bonton delivers it. Voldemir staying with it again. And 2 more for the big fella. I mean, 7'1", throw it up in the air, 6'3" Gardner. The guy can catch the ball, Dan. He's shown good hands to this point. There's a deep 3 off by Jeremiah Gambrell. Offensive rebound. Mack into the corner. Roberts. 10 on the shot clock. And the nice finish there by Damari Paris.
Well, and you can see that Washington State is trying to take away the three-point shot. The expanded zone. They're closing out, running them off the three-point line, but Markovetsky is staying at home to protect the rim on dribble penetration.
Noah Williams. That's a 3. Noah's got 11 points. He's in the double figures.
It just looks so much different than it did a season ago. I mean, he catches that ball with good balance and footwork, and he just makes a simple read. I'm open, shoot it.
And the double dribble called on Darrell Roberts. Turnover gives it back to Washington State. And Ryan Rapp checking in for the Cougars. Marko Vetsky goes to the bench. Cougars going small, Dan.
You almost have to go small at times with Prairie View A&M's lineup. I would expect the Panthers to really pick up in pressure.
Abagidi calling for the ball. Rapp directs the traffic, got it to Bonton. 4 on the shot clock. Stutter step by Bonton, lost the handle in the paint. Paris, transition 3 won't go. Offensive rebound up and good by J. Rhoda Briscoe. Yakimovsky fakes the 3, and it's poked out of bounds by Jeremiah Gambro. Timeout on the floor, 15:42 to play. Washington State extending their lead. It's now at 20. Well, recruiting budgets are growing, and this is why. Washington State with 7 players from around the globe. You have to scour this planet now to find talent to compete in this league, Dan.
It's become the nature of not just recruiting in the Pac-12, but across the country at the Division I level. You see on the West Coast the outlines of the states that represent the Pac-12, and then the global presence of where those players, not just for Washington State, but from across the conference come. That is quite a footprint. I know you're a fisherman. How many of those countries have you been to that are highlighted?
Well, that could take us a while, but 38 players from 22 different countries. It's impressive.
It is. And it goes also to show you just how global this game of basketball has become. The USA Basketball Dream Team in '92 kind of really set the stage for the explosion of the game across the world.
Isaac Bonton the miss, but what it's done, Dan, is allowed programs like Washington State, boy, there's some quickness there. Foul before the shot, or they're going to count this bucket?
I think they're going to count it.
I think they're going to count it as well, and Jeremiah Gamble with a chance for a 3-point play. But when you recruit internationally, it also allows programs like Washington State to go out and get somebody maybe that's a little under the radar, right? And
Without
to get better quicker.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that goes to, you know, if you have a certain style that you want to play, but maybe you haven't created a buzz around your program here in the States or in the region that you want to recruit, but you find that skill set that you want somewhere else, you're exactly right. That can kind of become a hidden gem and untapped player that comes and has a lot of success for you.
Just a common foul called against Noah Williams. 59-41 is the score.
But this is an interesting time for Washington State as they continue to learn. Inbounds play, Isaac Bonton shot it extremely quick. I mean, literally off one pass onto out of the baseline, out of bounds, and then you don't get back in defensive transition and allow a bucket. This is where you can really grow as a team, learn to play with patience, and really carve up a team offensively.
Foul away from the ball here. Called on J. Rhoda Briscoe. He was guarding Abagidi inside. 3 team fouls on the Panthers this half. F.A. can't make the catch.
Oh,
and that is turnover.
It's a tight space.
Number 11. Sorry, Dan.
Oh, that's on me. A tight space. You've got to understand just how close you are. You can't throw a fastball 4 feet away.
And into the game, our first look at Miles Washington, a junior out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Foul called on F.A. Abagidi. And Miles will shoot a couple of free throws.
Seen a lot of growth in Abu Ghidi's game. We talked to the coaching staff, Kyle Smith and Jim Shaw and others. They say every 2, 3, 4 days you see an amazing amount of growth in Abu Ghidi's game. I think the one place that I've seen in the last 3 games that we've called, Greg, is defensively. He's still active, but he's not necessarily reaching for games. He's a little bit more under control. His second game of the year against Eastern Washington, he fouled out in 10 minutes.
Yeah, just 2 fouls now in 22 minutes of play here tonight. FA with 8 points and 9 rebounds. Got a real good shot at a double-double.
That'd be impressive. Back-to-back double-doubles if he can get it. The other night, 19 points, 15 rebounds. Career highs in both of those categories.
There's his 10th rebound. Needs another bucket to get to a double-double. The question, as we talked the other night for FA, can he continue to do it against larger players that he'll see in this league as the season progresses? Here's Coots from the corner. Jazz, his second connection.
Terrific drive and kick from Noah Williams that continues to show his IQ and understanding of reads is growing as a sophomore.
You can hear the Cougar defense communicating on the floor. Opportunistic play there by Miles. Washington picked up the loose ball and dumps it through. Which begs the question. We haven't seen Miles on the floor yet at 6'5", 232, big kid. Bonton the stutter, and then the go to the rim, and he'll shoot free throws.
Kuntz passes up the first one, and then Williams, nice job collapsing the defense and delivering it on time and on target to Kuntz. You know, he played well the first 3 games, missed a couple with sprained ankle. He can be a big piece. I've seen improvement in him over the first 3 years here in Pullman. He's a 6'8", got good length, he can shoot it. You'd like to see him become a little bit more consistent, though.
Yeah, it's the ebb and flow of a season, right, for a coach who's trying to find different rotations and see how they work. And then you get Andre Yakimovsky on the floor. He starts to play well. Maybe it limits Jazz's minutes, but you never know. This is a long season. And Cam Mack connecting from deep for the Panthers. And Deshaun Jackson, number 21, on the floor for the Cougars as well. Bonton off the head of Miles Washington. And the foul called against the Panthers. I believe it's on number 32, Cam Mack.
Washington State dodged a bullet there. Bonton. No look. Threw it to the wrong guy. If you're going to give it the no look, you've got to deliver it to your intended target, not to the opponent.
Rapp, that's a 3. And that's the turnover, maybe. Tie-up call, it'll be Prairie View basketball. Panthers won't quit. Like we said, they haven't played much basketball this year, just their 4th game. They haven't played since late November.
Well, they played against good teams. They played against Evansville, and they also went to Louisville. They lost by 22 to Chris Mack's squad, but 2 years ago they were in the NCAA tournament. Last year they were having a solid year before COVID. And now Damari Paris finds the opening in the middle, the soft spot of the zone.
Paris with 13. He leads all scorers, 6 of 10 from the floor.
He had played limited minutes this season coming in. Averaged only about a point a game until tonight.
Backdoor cut, Bonton with a great catch in traffic. And he is fouled as he looks back and points at Jazz Kuntz.
But those are the kind of plays, and I know I've mentioned it a couple times with Bonton making plays. Kuntz threads the needle. but that's a difficult catch. And you're putting a teammate in a position where it's a difficult catch, and then if you catch it, what are you going to do with it? You might not have anything.
You can lead him right into a charge.
Yeah.
Jackson off the inbound, two-handed flush. Deshaun Jackson.
Great execution. Deshaun Jackson's showing the length. They've got high hopes for him. Big body, good timing. He's got to become a little bit better athletically, laterally, being able to guard and pick and rolls, but they've got high hopes.
Noah Williams, the open floor. I just see that part of his game is very instinctual, Dan, and it's getting better every time we see him. Jump shot away, off from Gambrell Jr. And it goes right to Damari Paris, and Damari hasn't missed much. He's 7 of 12 now, 15 points. Rap falling down. Tie up. It's Cougar basketball when we come back. 11:42 to play in Pullman. 68-50. The Cougs with a chance to get to 7-0. A good neighbor, State Farm, is there. 11:42 to play at the Beasley Coliseum. Washington State up 68-50 over Prairie View A&M. Greg Heister, Dan Dickow. Cougs played well to this point. Kyle Smith now looking for a team to finish this game. Finish it. You talked about it the other night, Dan. It's one thing to play well, but you got to finish these games.
Yeah, and Prairie View A&M has come out with a lot of energy here in the second half. I want to see Washington State. You want to keep the foot on the gas, but you also want to play under control. There's been a few possessions already where there hasn't been a purpose. You've got to be organized. You've got to get good shots each time down the floor. And this is a growing and learning opportunity for a lot of these young Cougars, especially Noah Williams, Ryan Rapp, and now Deshaun Jackson, who's getting extended minutes really for the first time in his career.
That foul called on Miles Washington. It is foul number 7 against the Panthers. Jackson's first free throw of the season. And it looks good. 69-50. Deshaun is big. 6'10", 235. I know talking to Kyle Smith about Deshaun, he's got high hopes. Got to develop him, right?
Yeah, and bigs typically take longer than guards. But they really like him. He's got good hands. Again, he's got to become a little bit better athlete.
Roberts inside. Jackson there to change the shot. Now he's down on the floor battling for the ball. And it's going to stay with the Panthers. It's a long way down for Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, but as a coach, you got to love the fact your 6'11", 7-foot freshman's willing to get on the floor for a loose ball. You see a lot of guards that won't get on the floor for a loose ball.
Andre Yakimovsky back on the floor, replacing Miles Warren. Andre with 11 points in this game, 4 rebounds. Bonta on the rebound. Boy, they're pestering Rapp. Bonta picks up the loose ball. Into the corner, Jazz Kuntz. That shot is off. A lot of flair on that pass from Isaac Bonta.
A lot of flair, but it's got to hit the shooter in the pocket so he can catch it in rhythm. Those are the kind of possessions I think that Kyle Smith wants to see them get something out of. You've got numbers. If you don't like what's transpiring, get into a set. They've been good in half-court offense, especially in that first half where they hit 8 threes. Finding the open shooter, penetrating against the zone, making the right reads.
Back inside, loose ball again. Jackson on the floor. Got it to Rapp, and now Isaac Bonta up the floor to Kuntz. And they call out the play. Bonton the catch, bounce pass right to Damari Paris. That's the 5th turnover of the game for Isaac Bonton. And Roberts for 3 is way off. Deshaun Jackson with the catch.
Now Kyle Smith is calling out a play. He's like, we need to get into a set. We need to get something good here. They got the switch. Can they get Jackson the ball?
And now Yakimovsky has it poked away. That ball grew wings. 16 seconds on the shot clock. Ryan Rapp. Jackson working hard inside, trying to create some space.
Did a nice job sealing. Missed him a couple times on the low block.
Jazz Kuntz is tripped by Damari Paris. That's the 3rd on Paris. I'm not sure if Damari agrees with the call. Nonetheless, Jazz Kuntz at the free throw line. He's 15 of 17 on the season, 88.2%. His first free throws of the game. That one short. Nice lead, nice finish. Jawan Daniels.
That shows you what dribble penetration against the zone can do. You want to make 2 guys guard you against the zone. When that happens, you're going to find an open opportunity for a teammate.
Jackson will go to the free throw line. .847 to play. So you've got a big 6'10", young, 235 pounds. You see some potential, Dan. And what is it that he needs to work on right away? And what kind of drills? Like, how do you work on a big to get him better?
Well, I think one of the first things for bigs that you have to do at a young age is you've got to have great hands and footwork. And a lot of times they'll have both, but they don't work in combination. They don't work well together. The simplest drill is just the Mikan drill. It's just stand in front of the hoop, and it's hook shot, one after the other, off the proper hand with the proper, off the proper foot with the proper hand. And young players don't do that enough, guards or bigs. You get your footwork and your timing, your rhythm down with that, and you gradually extend it out a little further, and you can also do it with your back to the baseline, so you start working on what I call the spin game. You've got to be able to have great hands around the rim and finish with either hand.
Jackson out of the game, replaced by F.A. Abagidi. You can tell Jackson has soft hands the way he shoots those free throws. That ball really goes to the rim. Nice catch by F.A. But underneath him was Jock Hughes. So 1-and-1 opportunity for F.A. Abagidi. He's 3 of 4 from the line today, 8 points, 10 rebounds. 1 assist, 3 blocks.
And this is what he can do on a almost night in, night out basis, I think. He's approaching a double-double, and there hasn't been a single play called for him. He's been active on the offensive glass. He runs the floor, so when dribble penetration happens, he can have opportunities there, and then he can be really good in the pick and roll. You add the ability to sprinkle in a post-up or 2 for him occasionally, he's got a chance to be a very nice player.
That free throw gives him 10 points, 10 rebounds, another double-double for F.A. Abagidi. Paris missing. Yakimovsky was right there to defend that shot. Isaac Bonton all the way in, missed it. Abagidi, oh my word, is he so fast from the floor to the rim. That's unbelievable. And Rapp takes it away at the other end. Bonton transition 3 is short, got it back. Left it for Abagidi. Now out on top to Ryan Rapp, and they set up the play. We'll get another look at that.
Explosive.
It's unreal, wow. Dan.
You don't have to tell me twice. I'm in agreement with you.
Jazz Kuntz with the move. And the laying off the glass, and it's 74-52. 7:38 to play. F.A. Abagidi, he doesn't make the dunk, but this play alone shows you the potential that number 0 has for the Washington State Cougars. Look at how fast that is from the floor to the back of the rim. Cougars up big. A reminder, coming up next on the Pac-12 Network, it is CSU, Bakersfield, and Stanford. You get to see the player of the week in the Pac-12, the freshman of the week in the Pac-12 as well. And look at the numbers, impressive. You're going to see a lot more great offense. And Oscar Da Silva, maybe the dunk of the year to this point in the Pac-12. I don't know. If F.A. had just hammered that one home a moment ago, maybe it would have rivaled this, but this is pretty impressive, Dan.
Slip of the pick and roll. Help side not quite there in time. Well, maybe the help side was there in time. He just exploded over the top.
Through contact.
Yes. I'm sure he's going to match that or one up it at some point this year. I don't know. That left-handed dunk off the pick and roll we just showed, that was pretty darn impressive in its own right.
Abagidi will be a part of many highlights to come in his career here in Pullman.
Noah Williams now manning the point along with Rapp and Warren. Almost a three-point guard lineup. I'm sure the message from Kyle Smith was we've got to get into offense. They've struggled last possessions with Bonton.
Noah Williams drugged that foot. Turnover number 9, actually number 14, I'm sorry, for Washington State. So that number's starting to climb into a region where a coach won't be happy with it. Damari Paris in the corner. Cam Mack got by Yakimovsky. And Andre left only to foul him. 6:29 to play.
Help side was nowhere to be found. His teammates, his buddies, his compadres, fellow Cougars left Yakimovsky on an island. Cam Mack quick, creative with the dribble. You've got to understand, hey, I need to be in early help and discourage Mack from putting the dribble penetration pressure on.
Cam Mack a double-double as well, 11 points and 10 dimes.
That's impressive to have 10 assists when your team is only shooting 41%.
And there's only been 13 assists in the game for them. He's got 10 of the 13.
Well, he's quick, he's shifty, he's able to get into the paint, and he's created problems, and more times than not, he's made the right read.
20-point game. Noah Williams, 13 points in this game, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. It's becoming a typical game for Noah.
He continues to grow. It's been impressive.
There's a block by J-Rhoda Briscoe. Brian Rapp throws it away. 15th turnover for the Cougars.
Did a nice job the other night against Montana State taking care of the ball. Tonight they've kind of reverted back a little bit to, instead of making the simple pass, making a difficult one, not having great spacing. Bonton 7 of those turnovers. As your point guard, you've got to be able to limit those.
Cam Mack down the lane. Yakimovsky with a deflection grab by Miles Warren. Miles to Effing.
Another nice catch and
Didn't quite slam it, but it was close. There was a little bit of a bobble on the way up.
But what I like about that, though, is the tremendous catch, but the understanding that, hey, I just need to corral the ball and get 2 points.
And how about the play by Miles Washington? Actually stripped Abagidi from the ball and able to turn and score through him, too.
This is a test for Prairie View A&M, I'm sure. Good team in the SWAC. They're not going to quit. They're going to keep coming after you.
Loose ball picked up by Gambrell. Daniels, jump shot good. Byron Smith over there coaching them up, Dan.
Well, they're not going to give in. They're not going to quit.
Finger roll by Williams, won't go. F.A. Abagidi there to clean it up. Abagidi with 14 points now, 12 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 blocks. And he will be a lot to deal with. Even as we get into league, he might struggle against the size for a game or two, Dan, but he appears to be a guy that's going to pick it up pretty quickly, gain some confidence, and learn to win. And you see him high there for the rebound.
Well, I think what you're seeing in a 7-game stretch now is growth in a number of different things, learning how you can impact the game positively. Early in the season, he got in foul trouble, I think a lot of times because he tried to block every shot. Now he knows it's on the scouting report he's a shot blocker. If he's just there and shows some semblance of being there in the presence, he's going to alter shots.
Quick trigger from Paris.
Game's quickly becoming kind of open gym. Whoever has it's going to take the shot. And I like Rapp here. Wisely decides, hey, let's get into some semblance of offense. Let's make sure we have a good possession.
Rapp throws it up. Abagidi with the catch. Spins. Missed it. Got it back. Lays it in. 16 points now for F.A. Ryan Rapp tried to stay with Cam Mack defensively, but can't do it. Foul call. F.A. Abagidi.
Continuing to see this young man's growth right in front of our eyes. Another double-double, 16 points, 14 rebounds, active on the offensive glass. Was he padding his own stats? We'll see.
F.A. Abagidi, Dan Dickau, has arrived in Pullman.
Has he ever? Defensively with his athleticism, his timing, altering shots. You get a 6'10" guy who can step out and shoot threes effortlessly. That's a bonus. Oh, wait, I read the double team. I'm going to make the right play. Pick and roll. He's a problem because he can catch, he can finish, as well as get out in transition. I don't know if there are many more adjectives that we can use to describe his game. It's been superb tonight.
And 16 points, 14 rebounds, 4 blocks, his second straight double-double. Yeah, there's a lot to be excited about when you look at Andre Yakimovsky, too. I mean, Noah Williams, just a sophomore. Kyle Smith is quickly building a real roster down here, Dan.
Yeah, he's a tremendous coach. Spent a number of years in the WCC at San Diego and at St. Mary's before getting his chance as a head coach in the Ivy League at Columbia. Then he comes back to San Francisco in the WCC. 3 consecutive 20-win season. Only a matter of time before he gets a 20-win season here in the Palouse.
And he's such a great fit. Loves the area. His wife is excited about being in Pullman at Washington State. It could be a marriage that lasts for a long time. I know you don't like to get ahead of yourself, but you know, Kyle's going to build a winner. This program is going to elevate. And a lot of times it's just belief and the right system, right? You got to be able to get the right player to play in your system. And so far, he seems to be able to find that. That's Jazz Kuntz from the corner, 83-60. Kuntz having a nice game now, 11 points, 3 of 4 from behind the three-point line. As a team, Washington State 12 of 26, 46%. By far their best shooting effort of this season.
Well, as a coach, you don't want your defensive effort or your efficiency to ever lapse, and that has not been the case early in the season for Washington State. But what you've seen is the offense has been dramatically better as the season has progressed. It's been tremendous to see.
They get the ball to Deshaun Jackson. Darrell Roberts called for the personal foul with 2:06 to play. And Washington State up 83-60. They scored 82 against Montana State, so at 83, this is their highest offensive output of the season now. Make it 84. Jackson with 5 points off the bench. It's a pair. 25-point Cougar lead. At the elbow, Daniels with some confusion. Got it away. Jump hook goes for J. Rhoda Briscoe. Bonton needing help. So Isaac Bonton, Dan, 12 points, 7 assists, coming off that injury. And there is Miles Warren from downtown, but
another possession with the extra pass. Coates passed up a good one. Warren knocks down the great one.
A minute to play. Washington State going to get to 7-0 for the first time since 2007-8 season. And it's not all about the schedule. I mean, we have seen this team get better every game that they play. And there hasn't been a step back. Like, there has been improvement every game.
There's been improvement every game, but there's also, if you're looking at it from a coach perspective, there's definitely some things they can still improve upon. I think the turnovers, in particular for Bonton, popped up again. You want to see him take better care of the ball and balance being a scorer and being a playmaker for others. And you also want to see the ability defensively to keep guys out of the paint. There was a few opportunities and possessions where Prairie View A&M really put some pressure on that zone to keep the ball out of the middle of the paint.
Final seconds. There's a scrum going on the floor, and there's the whistle with 2.6 seconds to play and the ball going out of bounds. The officials were left at no choice at that point to blow the whistle. It'll be Academic with the inbound. Warren with the catch. And Washington State now 7-0 on this season. And Kyle Smith has to feel good about where his team is right now, Dan.
Has to feel good. Has to feel great. 7-0. There has been big-time strides here on the Palouse. Not just from last year to this year, but just from the first 4 games of the year until Game 7. There has been improvement both collectively and individually.
And F.A. Abagidi, learned that name. 16 points, 14 rebounds, 4 blocks. A lot of good young players down here in Pullman. Noah Williams with another nice game as well. And in the end, Washington State is 7-0. A reminder, coming up after this one, it is Cal State Bakersfield and Stanford, but that'll come your way at the top of the hour. Until then, for Dan Dickow, I'm Greg Heister. Good night from Pullman, Washington. The Washington State Cougars are now 7-0.